Mohamed Kachika, Mr. Cashflow. I always emphasize the issue of diversification of our revenue sources in any enterprise that you get involved into. Just today, as we are approaching Christmas, you can see how I'm harvesting the maize. You saw when I was planting that maize, we are now harvesting the dry maize, where we are going to make maize flour and also maize bran for our animals, so that you have an integrated approach that ensures continuous cash flow. Now, onto this maize, we are going to sell some, get the cash, and then we are going to get the maize bran for our animals, re-emphasizing the issue of several cash flow inflow streams into your business. So always be mindful when you are doing every business that at a certain stage X, you must be ensuring a consistent cash flow for your business. Just imagine, if your business is 5 years, it is still in the short-term arrangement. You can afford to borrow. This borrowing should depend on your age and the state of the business. But if you've been in business for over 10 years, it should be now reaching consolidation stage, where you should be able to plow back the profits and then minimize onto the borrowing. My dear friends, at a certain stage, please be mindful about incautious borrowing. Incautious, when every issue that you have into your enterprise, you must borrow. You want to expand, you excessively borrow. It is going to affect your cash flows. And as a consequence, you might lose your business. And in fact, those gains do not really. People, when they hear diversification, I want now to make yogurt, I want to go on to value addition, they borrow. They end up even losing the little that they had. So at a certain time, be mindful about borrowing. I could afford to say now I want like this machine that is right now making the combs. Removing the maize from the combs. I've not bought it. I've hired it. But when you get used to borrowing, it's like selling of property or selling of land or anything. Every problem that you get, you want to solve it by borrowing. Please, I'm not discouraging people who are borrowing, but be mindful at what stage of the business you should borrow. In the initial years of the business, you can borrow. But as the business has matured, if you still have loan portfolio and loan exposure up to 60% of your revenue, you are in trouble. I can confidently say, my bankers are aware. I've not stepped into the bank in the past 5 years that I'm negotiating a facility or I'm acquiring a new facility. I'm closing off all the old ones and settle. But do not be over-ambitious. Through your expansion, by getting more exposure, do not overexpose your business. That business of incautious lending by banks and incautious borrowing by us entrepreneurs exposes our businesses to dissolution. So please be very mindful about your loan exposure. What percentage does it constitute? But how do you minimize loan exposure when you want also to grow? Grow organically. Diversify. People, I'm glad many have understood my concept of the cash flow. I meant have many income streams, have many, so that you mitigate and minimize overexposure. Overexposure, especially through liabilities, including financial obligations that are undue and unserviceable. That's my festive season message to you, my folks. That at a certain stage, please be mindful. When I clock 50, I knew that banks are beginning to become a no-go area for me to borrow. The last 5 years, banks have just been seeing me rarely. Just to go and check out of my account. Thank you.